It's a quiet evening. The whole family is in the room. And the dog gets up, stretches, and walks across the floor. Right past you, the one who feeds it every morning, who walks it in the rain, who cleans up after it without complaint. And it flops down with a contented sigh against someone else. Your brother, your partner, the kid who does absolutely nothing. And it rests its head on their knee and closes its eyes like it's finally home. Or maybe it's the cat that bolts under the bed when guests arrive, that tolerates the rest of you with cool indifference, that has, in its entire life, fully melted for exactly one person. And it isn't you. And there's a small sting, isn't there? A quiet, slightly embarrassing little ache that you'd never say out loud, because it sounds ridiculous to be jealous of how your pet feels. But you feel it anyway. Why them? Why not me? I do everything. So tonight, let's actually look at it. Does your pet have a favorite person in the family? And if it does, how does it choose? Because there are real answers here, and some of them are going to land hard, and some of them are going to comfort you in a way you didn't expect. Scientists, breeders, animal behavior researchers, they've all looked at how a pet picks its person, and the rules that come out are stranger and fairer than the sting makes them feel. By the end of this, I'm going to tell you why the person who feeds the pet is so often not the favorite, which sounds like the most unfair thing in the world until you understand it, and then it suddenly makes perfect sense. And I'm going to tell you about a rule so reliable you can watch it happen at any gathering, the strange, almost funny truth about which person in a crowded room a cat will choose. But the deepest thing we're building toward is this. The way your pet picks its favorite is, underneath, the very same ancient force that decides who you fall in love with. Your heart and your pet's heart are running the same old program. Stay with me. But first, let's be honest about the sting, because we should never pretend it away. Pets do have favorites. This is real. Both dogs and cats very commonly form their strongest bond with one particular member of the household and a noticeably lighter bond with everyone else. It's not your imagination, and it's not nothing. In a family, it can quietly shape how people feel. The parent who does all the pet care and gets the cold shoulder. The kid who barely lifts a finger and gets adored. It can sting. So let's take that seriously. And then, let's find out why it happens. Because the why changes everything. And the first piece of the why is the one that feels most unfair. So let's rip the bandage off right away. The favorite is very often not the person who feeds the pet. I know, after everything you do. But here's the thing researchers keep finding, and it's the same lesson that runs through this whole subject. The bond is not built on food. It's built on the quality of the interaction. The favorite tends to be the one who plays, the one who trains, who throws the ball, who gets down on the floor, who talks to the animal, who gives it the good, engaged, delighted attention. Feeding is a chore the pet barely connects to you as a person. Play is connection. Attention is connection. The one who fills the bowl twice a day is providing a service. The one who gets on the ground and wrestles and laughs is providing a relationship. And the pet bonds to the relationship every time. So if you've been doing all the food and all the cleanup and wondering why the bond went to someone else, here's your first, slightly painful answer. You were doing the work. They were doing the connecting. And to an animal, connection is the thing that counts. The good news hiding in that, and we'll come back to it, is that connection is something you can choose to give. But food isn't the whole story, because some favorites were chosen a very long time ago, before the pet even had much of a personality. And this is one of the deeper, stranger pieces. Puppies and kittens have an early window, a sensitive period in their first weeks and months of life when their little brains are wide open, soaking up the world, deciding what's safe and who belongs in it. It's a kind of imprinting window, and whoever is there during that window, holding them, playing with them, being gentle and present while their social world is still forming, can get stamped in deep as a core, primary person. Sometimes the favorite was decided in those first few weeks before the animal could even really see straight, and the bond just held for life. So sometimes it isn't about what anyone's doing now at all. It's about who was there at the very beginning, when the soft clay was still wet. Then there's personality. Pets, like people, gravitate toward the humans whose energy fits theirs. An anxious, sensitive dog often bonds hardest to the calmest, quietest person in the house. The one who moves slowly and speaks softly, and feels like a safe place. A bouncy, playful dog might adore the most energetic kid, the one who matches its chaos. The match matters. And underneath all of it runs one quiet quality that may matter most of all. Predictability, safety. Pets bond to the person who is consistent, gentle, readable, the one whose behavior they can predict, the one who has never given them a reason to flinch. It's not always the person who loves the pet the loudest. It's the person who makes the pet feel the safest, the one the animal never has to brace around. And that brings us to the cats, and to that rule I promised, the one you can watch happen anywhere. You know the scene, a room full of people and one cat. And there's always one guest who doesn't like cats, or is allergic, or just isn't interested, sitting quietly in the corner, ignoring the animal completely. And which lap does the cat choose? Theirs. Every time. It walks past all the people cooing at it, reaching for it, patting their knees and calling it over, and it goes and sits with the one person who wants nothing to do with it. It feels like a cosmic joke. It isn't. It's cat logic, and it's airtight. Remember where the cat comes from. A solitary animal, wired to read direct approach as a little bit of a threat. When a room full of people stare at a cat, lean toward it, reach out, call to it, the cat reads all of that as pressure, as intensity, as a faint demand. But the person ignoring it? No staring, no reaching, no pressure at all. To the cat, that person is the only safe, relaxed, non-threatening presence in the entire room. So that's who it approaches, because that's who lets it keep control, who lets it come on its own terms. The cat isn't choosing the person who likes it least, it's choosing the person who's giving it the most space, the most consent, the most safety. With cats, the secret has always been the same. Don't chase, don't reach. Be calm, be still, and let them come to you. Respect the autonomy of a creature that spent millions of years answering to no one, and you become the safe one. That's how you win a cat, by not trying to. So now let's pull the camera back, because the deepest answer to why your pet has a favorite isn't really about food or play or imprinting at all. It's about the nature of love in a social animal. And here's the truth that reframes the whole thing. Social animals have always played favorites. Think about it. In the wild, a social creature does not bond identically with every member of its group. That's not how it works for any of them. Wolves form closest partnerships, preferred companions, a primary tie that's stronger than the rest. Primates have best friends, allies they grew more, sit closer to, choose again and again over everyone else. Across the social animal world, relationships are never flat, never evenly spread. There's always a closest one, a chosen one, a primary bond that runs deeper than the others. And there's a reason for that, an old survival reason. A focused primary bond protects you far better than a thin bond spread evenly across a whole crowd. One deep tie. One individual who truly has your back, who you'd defend and who'd defend you, is worth more than 100 shallow acquaintances. So, attachment, real attachment, was never built to be fair. It was built to be focused. It was built to choose, to pour itself, deepest, into one. So when your pet picks a favorite, it isn't malfunctioning, and it isn't snubbing the rest of you out of cruelty. It's doing the single most natural thing a loving social animal can do. It's forming a primary bond. It's choosing its person. The way its ancestors chose their closest ally in the pack, the way every social creature that ever lived has poured its deepest attachment into one. The favoritism isn't a flaw in your pet's love. The favoritism is what love looks like, stripped down to its oldest form. And here's where it turns, and where the sting starts to heal, because of what that actually means about you. The reason the favorite isn't always the feeder, isn't always the one who does the most chores, is that this kind of bond was never about service. It was never a reward for effort. It's about a particular quality of presence, safety, play, gentleness. Being the one the animal feels seen by and safe with. Which means the favorite isn't the one who does the most for the pet. It's the one who makes the pet feel the most at home in its own skin. Now look in the mirror, because this is the part that should give you a small chill. That is exactly how it works for you too. You don't fall hardest for whoever does the most chores for you either. You don't bond deepest to whoever feeds you. You bond to the ones who make you feel safe. The ones whose energy matches yours. The ones who were there at the right moment in your life when your world was still forming. The ones you can predict and trust and relax around. Your heart picks its favorites by the very same ancient rules your pet's heart uses. So when you feel that sting of not being the chosen one, sit with this. You're feeling the oldest selection in the world. The same quiet force that decided who your pet adores is the same force that decided who you love. It was never fair. It was never about who earned it. It runs on safety and connection and timing, in them and in us, exactly alike. So let me speak for a second to whoever you are in this story. If you're the favorite, the chosen one, understand what you've actually been handed. It isn't a trophy, it's a responsibility. You are this animal's safe harbor, its primary person, the one its deepest bond is poured into. That's not a prize you won, it's a trust you hold. And the way you keep it is the way you earned it, by showing up gently, by being safe, every ordinary day. And if you're not the favorite, if you're the one doing the food and the cleanup and watching the love land on someone else, I want you to hear this clearly. Not being the favorite does not mean you are not loved. Your pet's bond with you is real. It's just not the primary one, and the primary one is not a measure of your worth. And here's the part that should actually lift your chest. That primary bond can be earned, because it was never about service in the first place. It's built on connection, so you can build it. Get on the floor, play, be the calm, safe, patient one. Stop reaching and let the animal come to you. Be the place it feels safest. You can become the chosen one, not by doing more, but by being more present, more gentle, more trustworthy to be near. The door is open. It always was. And maybe the deepest comfort of all is this. The simple fact that your pet can have a favorite at all is proof that its love is real. A creature that just reacts to whoever happens to be closest isn't really loving anyone. But a creature that chooses, that prefers, that pours itself into one specific person out of all the others, that is a creature capable of genuine, particular, individual love. The favoritism is the evidence. And that same capacity, the one that lets your pet choose a favorite, is the very same capacity that let it choose to love you, specifically you, in whatever measure it does. A heart that can pick a favorite is a heart that can truly love. And some of that love, primary or not, is pointed at you. Isn't it strange how much choosing goes on in an ordinary house? Your dog carries the pack's gift for a closest companion, and it spends it on one of you. Your cat carries the solitary hunter's careful, consent-based heart and offers it, on its own terms, to the one who doesn't push. And you do the exact same thing, choosing your own favorites by rules older than you are, mostly without noticing. It's the same machinery we keep finding in every quiet room. The mind that feels watched in the dark, that loses itself in a doorway, that raises for it no longer has, that keeps half awake in a strange bed, that holds its missing people across the empty hours, that keeps watch over a body in trouble. And here, again, an ancient animal running an ancient program, the deep, focused, choosing nature of love itself playing out on your living room floor. We pulled one more of those threads tonight, and there are always more, woven through the small daily devotions of the creatures we share our homes with. So does your pet have a favorite? It probably does, not as a verdict on the rest of you, but as the truest sign there is that it loves like a real, feeling creature, the kind that chooses. And if that favorite isn't you, not yet, you already know the secret. It was never about the food or the work or how loud that you love. It's about being safe to be near. Be that and wait. That's how every heart, theirs and ours, has always been won. I didn't choose the one who feeds me, I chose the one who feels like quiet, the one I never have to brace around, the one whose lap is the one safe place in a loud world. It isn't fair, I know, love never was. But sit down here beside me, soft and slow, ask me for nothing and give me time. I've been choosing my people this way since long before there were houses, and there's always room for the gentle ones to be chosen too.